This is the city of Sukhothai, 400 kilometers north of Bangkok, the capital city of Thailand. In the 13th century, Thailand's first kingdom, the Sukhothai Empire, had its capital here. In this city, a traditional 5-day festival called Lor Krathong is held. Nearly 700 years ago, this festival was started to pray for the prosperity of the kingdom. Thailand is known as the land of smiles, and gentle smiles are seen everywhere here. The Thais have great smiles, which they put immense value on. This is deeply related to the history of the country and to the Buddhism that 90% of Thais worship. Sukhothai, the birthplace of Thailand, was also the starting point of Buddhism in this country, which has always supported the spirit of the Thai people and their enduring smiles. The numerous historical sites that remain in Sukhothai are designated as World Heritage Sites. The largest ruins here are of a royal temple, Wat Mahathat. Wat means temple, and Mahathat means a large Buddha stupa. This statue is nearly 10 meters tall. Countless columns are the ruins of the framework of the temple. It is believed that the temple that existed here had a large wooden roof. Among the row of stupas, which are more than 20 meters tall, are about 100 Buddha statues standing in a line. They have a most attractive facial expression. The Buddha statues in Sukhothai are praised as those with the smiles of utmost charity. The city of Sukhothai spreads out for 8 square kilometers around the royal temple. The forest surrounding the city is studded with over 10,000 Buddha statues. All of the statues have something in common: a gentle smile. This massive reclining Buddha depicts the figure of Buddha passing on. Another characteristic of the statues in Sukhothai are those showing a walking Buddha, as if he's stepping forward. These depict the enlightened Buddha walking toward the people. A strange procession proceeds down the street. These women carry homemade Thai cuisine, such as fried shrimp and coconut curry. Now a large group of monks arrives. This is a ceremony called Sankatan. People create merit for themselves by offering food to the monks in order to receive blessings. They believe they'll be happy in their next lives by acquiring more merit.
ได้บุญเยอะแล้วก็ได้ความสุขความรุ่งความรวยของเราไปเนี่ย
Another great way of creating and acquiring merit is to invite monks home and have them read Buddhist scriptures. This woman has had hardships in her life, from a divorce and nursing her sick father. She's worried that the cause might be that she didn't acquire enough merit in her former life. Having seen her situation, her son became a monk a year ago, and today he will return to read scriptures. Relatives have gathered. The woman has invited a monk into her home for the first time in 5 years, after almost giving up hope that she would be able to acquire much merit anymore. Her son begins to read Buddhist scriptures.
นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะสีหน้าข้อนี้ทำให้ผู้ปฏิบัติรักษา
Each word speaks to her heart, a heart that had almost lost the will to live. Rooted deeply in the lives of the Thai people, Buddhist precepts have empowered them with the will and strength to carry on. In Sukhothai, 6 kings ascended the throne during a 200-year period. The third king, King Ramkhamhaeng, more than the others, made the nation Buddhist and made Sukhothai prosperous. Encouraging the adoption of foreign cultures, he spread the Buddhism which first came from Sri Lanka. This king, who created the Thai alphabet and established a rich agricultural base and money economy, is still adored as a great king by the Thai people. However, the king did have a period of suffering. A historical play is held during the Loy Krathong festival, whose main character is King Ramkhamhaeng. Enthroned, King Ramkhamhaeng fought for the existence of his kingdom. But after gaining independence from the Angkor kingdom, the Sukhothai kingdom was left battered and disorganized by the war. So the king depended on Buddhism to bring light into his land of confusion. The 14.7-meter Pra-Achna is the largest Buddha statue in Sukhothai. Achna means one who is not frightened in the Thai language. Pointing to the ground with its right hand, it is believed to have the power to drive away evil. day, King Ramkahang summoned his demoralized citizens in front of the Praajna. When they began to pray for a life without war, a miracle occurred. Do not worry. You are protected by the power of Buddha. If you unite in your hearts by caring for each other, peace will come to Sukhothai. The Praajna had suddenly spoken. There's a rectangular hole in the side of the statue, which is believed to have been put to use by the king. Inside, a stone wall 3 meters thick surrounds the statue. As we go along the dark, narrow passage, we come to see the profile of the Buddha. The king spoke to his people from here. As he spoke, his voice resonated through the entire temple and sounded as if it was the voice of Buddha himself. The people of Sukhothai did come together, and peace returned to the city, and the miracle created by the king in this temple has become legend. Local people come to Praajna every day to pray by pressing gold foil. The wish for the eternal protection of Buddha is embraced in each layer. This golden shine is the proof of a strong bond between the Buddha and the Sukhothai people. King Ramkahang prioritized the spirit of understanding and support. This stone monument, found in the ruins of his palace, shows his love for his people. No matter how small, if you have a problem, ring the bell in my palace. The king, myself, will consult with you. Because Sukhothai is a happy country filled with the spirit of those who care for each other. As the sun rises in the eastern sky of Sukhothai, another presentation of King Ramkahang begins. A gentle smile looms from the first light of dawn. Buddha statues are set up facing the morning sun. Sukhothai means the dawn of happiness in Thai. This reclining Buddha is 28 meters long, which is one of the largest reclining Buddha statues in Thailand. Ayutthaya kings held absolute power. They even began to deify themselves, changing the face of Buddhism from that of the Sukhothai period. In the ruins of this temple, the towers originated from Indian stupas. A stupa was originally the tower in which the remains of Buddha were held, but these three towers contain the remains of three kings.
การที่พระเจ้าแผ่นดินจะดูแลราษฎรนั้นสร้างวัดก็เท่ากับดูแลราษฎรนั้นพระเจ้าแผ่นดินจึงต้องสร้างวัดมากๆเพื่อดูแลสังคมอุปถัมภ์ราษฎรนะครับปกครองราษฎรด้วยการสร้างวัด
A long line of Ayutthaya kings built nearly 400 temples. People prayed to the towers that contained kings' remains. Making Buddhism the spiritual brace of their countries, the kings presented themselves as having the divinity of the Buddha. Ayutthaya soared in prosperity under the divinized kings. Their authority influenced even the appearance and expression of Buddha statues. The right hands of all these sitting Buddha statues point to the ground, which is the position called touching earth to subdue evil. They're in the same standardized style without any irregular gestures or forms. It's believed that the will and intentions of the kings took priority over the expression of Buddha. Most standing statues keep their right hands up at shoulder level. It seems that Buddha statues symbolize not only the Buddha, but also those kings who tried to identify themselves as equals with the Buddha.
คือว่าสมัยก่อนเนี่ยเราไม่มีการสร้างรูปพระเจ้าแผ่นดินเหมือนอนุสาวรีย์เหมือนเดี๋ยวนี้ใช่ไหมแต่สมัยอยุธยาเนี่ยมีการสร้างพระพุทธรูปพระเจ้าแผ่นดินอยุธยาเนี่ยอาจจะเปรียบว่าตัวเองว่าท่านเนี่ยมีบุญบารมีเทียบกับเป็นพระโพธิสัตว์
The prosperity of Ayutthaya was also projected and embellished onto the figures of Buddha statues. This one literally sparkles in golden royal splendor. Its vest and crown are decorated with rubies and sapphires. It's dressed as a king. Buddha statues became the symbol of kingly authority. At the same time, the gentle smiles like those of the Sukhothai statues disappeared from the statue faces. In the old Sukhothai, a king voluntarily walked toward his people and they came together in the name of Buddha. But in Ayutthaya, kings asserted power, identified themselves as Buddha, and the people became emotionally distant from the kingdom. Since regaining their city, Thai people have kept the peace and have been free from invasion by other powerful countries. This is the night of the Loy Krathong Festival in Sukhothai. About 50,000 people have come from Bangkok and other areas for the climax of the festival. This is the dance represented in the motif of the walking Buddha, typical in Sukhothai. There's a spirit of understanding, and on top of that, there's the smile. Sukhothai, the origin of Thailand. By keeping a smile and caring for each other, the country has kept peace and comfort by unifying under the precepts of Buddhism. And those efforts are engraved in the two old cities of World Heritage. At the end of the festival, people float lanterns on the riverbanks.
อยากให้เราทั้งสามคนรักกันค่ะแล้วอยากให้โตไปเราได้อยู่ด้วยกันค่ะ
The people's wishes haven't changed in 700 years. The dawn of happiness comes with a gentle smile.